Hello, my biddies. Time got away from me. I was watching a interview on YouTube from a guy that was unjustifiably, in my opinion, held on held by ICE when he tried to get back into the country after visiting home. Had a green card and everything. He missed one step in a process that nobody bothered telling him about, and it flagged him. He had the flu. They weren't feeding him. They barely let him go to the hospital. I can't imagine having the flu and having to sleep on a cot for maybe 3 or 4 hours a night. Otherwise, you're sitting in a chair all day. Sounds horrible. And that was before he went to the prison, which he also did. So I did not do my little pre-show stuff here. So you get to watch me. 'Cause I don't want to be. I hate being late, but now I'm just being silly because that's what I am. I think next week we may be able to start um, our final sister wives crap. Hopefully I can get that done by then. Got lots for you today. Oh, it looks like that was yeah, that one. I'll have to go through them. And with my computer acting the way it's been acting lately. It seems to be working well today, finally. All right. Okay, so I got all of them there. And I gotta go check and make sure they haven't been deleted like that one. So many of them get deleted. It's ridiculous. Here's one. That way I'm not usually doing this on camera, but today I am, aren't I? Sorry. I'm not a perfect person, and this is just for fun, so it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care if you have to wait and listen to me babble about it. You can come back in like 2 minutes. I'll be done. I don't think man, I'm looking forward to that one. Yep. Mm, looked kind of juicy, but we'll never know, will we? Oh, that was a repeat. Okay, cool. It might only be the 2 today. That one looks weird, so we'll see. All right. Now we're cooking with something. All righty. Sorry about that. Well, it does take 5 minutes to get ready. I'm just saying. But yeah. You know that ICE is just rounding people up and then releasing them, right? You know this? Because I know an actual illegal alien that has been rounded up and detained for a while. I don't know how long he was, and they just let him go. And no, he wasn't a criminal or anything. He didn't have any charges. Um, they just let him go so they can round him back up again and get more money. That's where your money's going to, into ICE pockets, ICE off their pockets. I hope they have to pay it all back. I hope they have to pay it all back someday, because that would be justice. All right. So anyway, I guess we'll get right to it. Of course, there's no reality TV. There's nothing on right now that I'm watching. So I guess it's too bad for you. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. We'll all live. First, we have entitled people. Entitled influencer after killing someone while live streaming while driving again and told viewers my cash app up there if y'all want to support while I'm on mental leave. If you all want to find it, y'all heart. Y'all want to support my cash app right there. Influencer T time 3. That's T underscore time underscore 3. So that you know where to go look for it. Was live streaming herself while driving 8-year-old child in the back seat. While live streaming, a loud thud was heard with her saying, "Wang, I just hit somebody." The child is heard on the stream asking what happened, and then the stream abruptly ends. There are a couple of slightly different descriptions, but the general facts are consistent. The person she hit was a 59-year-old man walking home from his shift at a local grocery store. He was crossing a road in Zion, Illinois with a green light when the driver ran a red light and struck him because she's not paying attention to the road instead of her stupid phone. He was pronounced dead in the emergency room. She quickly put her account on private and changed the name. 3 days later, she went live again under a new handle. Um, said her mind wasn't at full capacity and asking for money to help during her mental health break. On December 23rd, police arrived at her house with a arrest warrant for 2 charges: reckless homicide, aggravated use of an electronic communication device causing death. Police found her preparing to leave with several bags packed, so she was going to try and vamoose. No word on how much she got for her mental health break, because they probably just refunded everybody. That's what they'll usually do in cases like that. Hopefully not minus the $30 fee or 30% fee. H-Town says, my grandfather was hit and killed walking from the bus to the bus from the bank in his 70s. Morning sun blinded the driver who hit him. Big earmuffs kept my father from hearing a vehicle approaching. The driver stopped, stayed, waited, even though Granddad was already gone for police and fire. Found out my grandparents' names and contact information. Called my grandmother, came by the house to check on family more than once in the following days. Sent meals, pastors to pray for us, all kinds of things. The man didn't get jail time, but his actions during and after the investigation showed true remorse and human decency. We didn't want jail for him, though we were all heartbroken, of course. But that man handled his guilt so differently than this woman. I cannot imagine how this man's family feels knowing she has shown next to zero remorse for killing their loved one. That's heartbreaking, H-Town. I'm sorry that happened to you. That just sounded like it is actually an accident, and accidents do happen. How you react to accidents is a whole other thing. 8-year-old's cousin was hit by a car driven by a young girl. He didn't die immediately, was brain dead. All the aunts and uncles were at the hospital, and there was a man no one knew. He was the father of the girl who hit him. He explained she was sedated, so he was there in her place. Adding to this tragedy, it wasn't really the girl's fault. My cousin was crossing where he shouldn't, and the car behind her hit her. Oh my. So she didn't really hit him. She was pushed into him. That's a whole different thing. I know people that have accidentally hit others. And they don't really get over it. They still have nightmares. And it's been like 20, 30 years. Still have nightmares about it. It wasn't their fault. They were crossing against the light in front of a big truck. And the big trucks can't see you. If you can't see the driver, the truck cannot see you, by the way. So make sure if you are around a big truck or any other thing really, that the other person can see, that you can see the driver so that they can see you. And even then, sometimes they can't see you. Bugaboo and 2 says that's one of my biggest fears as a driver. Sometimes the sun glare can hit just right and blind you for a few seconds. And sometimes that's all it takes. That is completely correct. Goddess Naya says, I was driving my kids to school. We passed another school on the way with an officer that directed the traffic. One day I could on the asphalt telling me he stepped in front of my car. I should have told him he wasn't visible due to the sun glare. We were sitting at the next light when we heard sirens. He wasn't badly hurt, thank goodness, but still bothers me. I didn't think to tell him. That's terrible too. Because then it's not really your guilt, but you still feel bad because the other person, he still got hurt because you didn't do something. So proactivity. This person says they think this is a what should I do? Entitled, I think I got bit by something last night and I'm not sure if I should go to the ER. Well, if you got bit, dude, come on. What are we doing here? If you think you need to go to the ER, go to the ER for Pete's sake. Come on. You just have, I can't even really see anything, honestly. So, I don't know. Is it right there? I can't tell. It looks like an arm with a lot of freckles. Oh, that's different. Okay. That's a whole different story. Holy cow. Yeah, I would go to the ER, sir. It could be a spider. You don't know. I noticed a couple itchy spots on my arm when I woke up this afternoon. I didn't think much of it. However, they have become more pronounced and somewhat swollen. I'm not sure if this is worth seeking medical attention. That was worth seeking. This is huge. Like this right here. That's like I get itchy bites all the time. They eventually go away, but they itch like oh my gosh. You can't even describe how itchy they are. For a few days. If I itch them, they itch more. It's crazy. Nobody else gets these bites except me. So obviously it's some bug that I'm allergic to that bites everybody and nobody else even notices. But this right here, that is huge. And The fact that it's swollen up this much, you that's not right. Rocket Man says at least take some antihistamines. Comfortable mode says, "Hey, OP, I'm not a doctor. I'm a mom. Here's some practical advice. If you were my kid, I'd give you Benadryl. After 1.5 hours, if there's no change or the spot gets worse, ER. If it goes down, take Benadryl for 24 hours. After that, play it by ear." I would be sleeping the whole day. I would not be able to wake up to check. The only time I've ever talked in my sleep, I was on Benadryl. Basically, you need to figure out if it's a reaction or an infection. A box of Benadryl is cheap. If this wasn't caused by a bug bite and you actually do know the cause and aren't telling us, go to straight to the ER, wing the internet and be honest with the ER doctors. Yes, exactly. OP says, not sure how to directly edit the post, but I'm at the hospital now. I'll update as soon as I have more info. Those that are curious, thank you. Everyone that commented and voted, because I wasn't sure how quickly I'd get a response, if any. This community is great. 10 hours and no common agent says, answers them 10 hours and no update. This guy dead for sure. Bad breath, 24 hours, still nothing, definitely dead. Rest in peace, OP. We miss you. Did I miss the memorial service? Um, I'm gonna go check his. Okay, he is alive. He has posted since the incident. On two different things since the incident. So one was a month after. So I think he's probably okay. We also posted medical advice. The same thing. Interesting. I wonder if somebody there. Oh, somebody did say they had that by ants and that they're particularly allergic to. There's literally no information on that on there. All right, next we have malicious compliance, and it's entitled, "You have to use the kiosk for that." I used to work at the service desk in a big box store, the kind that with a million tiny aisles and a lot of weekend chaos. Corporate rolled out this self-help push, and our store manager repeated it in a meeting. We're not supposed to walk customers to items anymore because it trained dependents and slowed down the desk. So much for customer service. The approved script was to direct them to the new touchscreen kiosk map near the entrance. It sounded harmless on a slide, but in real life, like half our customers are older. And they will tell you they don't know how to do that. Or just in a hurry, and the kiosk was always surrounded by carts and kids. Still, the instruction was super clear. Use the kiosk. Do not leave the desk unless it is for an actual return. Ask where the picture hooks are. I smile and point to the kiosk. Guy asks where the light bulbs are. Kiosk. Someone asks where the restroom is. Yep, kiosk. People would look at me like I was messing with them, and I'd do the same client store policy. The map will show you. Within an hour, we had a little cluster of confused customers poking at the screen, and then a line, and then a second line for actual returns because I couldn't move faster. One customer got so frustrated they asked for a manager, and I happily called one over and then stood there quietly while the manager spent 10 minutes walking them to the aisle anyway. By the end of the weekend, we had 3 complaints logged, 2 abandoned returns, and the store manager asking why the kiosk area looked like an airport check-in. Monday morning, the rule was magically use the kiosk when it helps, just be human about it. Quaff says, I've never known a store to have a map, let alone a kiosk to guide them to an item. They kind of want you roaming around and hope that you buy more. Although, if you look on the Walmart app, at least, it will tell you the row where your item that you want is. And I've used it often. I use it often when I can't find something in a logical place. You know, how they'll put something in a weird spot. Like, why is it here? Why is this not by the ice cream? It's literally ice cream topping. Why is it not by the ice cream? Or at least close to there? Or maybe the condiments somewhere other than the bread aisle or something, wherever it was. Astromancer says both Lowe's and Home Depot will tell you the aisle and bay number for any item in stock if you look it up on the website at off of Home Depot and Lowe's. That lets you narrow it down by about 10-foot strip of shelves. Unless it's not in an aisle, then the map is completely and totally useless, letting things like aisle front bay 1 when it's actually dead center in the store in the appliance section. And no, I'm not still salty about that a few days ago. Z. Edgar Hoover says, I was at Lowe's recently looking through the fluorescent tubes for the ones I needed, and an employee stopped to ask if I needed help, then dragged a second guy in to assist. I swear it happened. Wish I had a body cam to document. I even knew what they were talking about. Mind you, this was 9:30 on December 23rd, and the store was pretty empty, but it defiled all past and probable future experience at either of the big two. Etta Leary, I'm gonna call it Etta Leray. I was there Christmas Eve to buy some stuff and they were empty. I needed help and they called and nobody came. And Z. Edgar's answers, now that's more normal, I'm afraid. Oh, geez. I'm not pronouncing that one. Maintain, I think, maintainer. They have numbers for the letters and it's crazy. At Lowe's, where I was looking for an item on sale, after 15 minutes of not finding it, I asked a gal with the vest on if she could point me to what I was missing of if they were out, since I wasn't where in the app it was supposed to be. She and her friend took a few minutes to find that they had plenty in stock, but they were all up in the shelves. 10 minutes later, they went and got a tall letter and I had my thing. It does happen, although I do find I have to ask for help most of the time. Arlo seems pretty good about that, although you don't want to work there because the management is toxic. At least it was 10, 15 years ago. The management was very toxic there. Hated working there. All I had to do was the candy, and I still hated it. The candy and the magazines and books that they used to have. I don't think they have those anymore, do they? I don't know. I don't ever go in there by myself, so I don't explore. So I don't explore anymore. All right, next we have AITAH for telling my wife's friend I don't have to see her in the classroom to know she's a horrible teacher. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes the other teachers tell you. My wife's friend was supposed to come watch fireworks with us tonight, but she just texted my wife that she isn't coming because I'm a nasty person who encourages my child to be rude and disrespectful. My wife and I just had a small argument about the situation that ended up with her pulling a Big Lebowski on me and saying, I don't have to be wrong to be an asshole. That's true. But I think her friend is the a-hole, not me. I'll tell you what happened and you could decide for us. My wife's friend was at our house for dinner. She's a teacher and she complains a lot about it. She says the parents are impossible to deal with. The administration is not supportive. Everyone has an opinion on curriculum and the kids don't listen. I include these comments as context for the discussion. She told my wife she was working on her lesson plan for February, Black History Month, and that she was making a fact sheet about Martin Luther King Jr. for her kids. Our son, who is a huge Star Trek fan, said that she should include the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Star Trek fan. My wife's friend, with very patronizing tone and expression, I might add, said that he would have been if he was still alive when it aired. My son said he was, and that he used to watch it with his daughters. My wife's friend said he died before the show aired. I told her she was wrong and my son was right. She said I was a perfect example of a parent who can't acknowledge when her child was wrong. I said, no, you're a perfect example of a teacher that assumes she knows everything and can't connect with her students because she doesn't respect them. Yes, I think I know this teacher. I think this teacher was my teacher who told them that there were only 3 countries that had um, sent people to space when there were like, I don't know, 10 at the time, and probably more now. My wife forced us all to change the subject. After dessert, I put up a video of YouTube where Nichelle Nichols was discussing talking to Martin Luther King Jr. about Star Trek. I showed it to everyone. My wife's friend asked why I couldn't let the topic lie. Because you're not learning, ma'am. I said I didn't want my son to feel like he was wrong for sharing facts he knows about his interests. My wife's friend said, I don't know what it's like to be a teacher. Okay. And how does that discount that you were wrong, ma'am? How does that discount that you were wrong? I said, I don't, but I know she's a bad one. She said, I never see her in the classroom. I said, I didn't need to because I see how she is in her daily life and who people are who they are regardless of where they are. So my wife's argument is, am I an a-hole for bringing up the topic after it was settled? No, it wasn't settled because she was still wrong. She said I could have played the video for our son after her friend left and taught him about giving others grace and not needing external validation. BS. BS. No, this is why people insist on being wrong. This is why you get flat earth people by giving them grace. Some people do not deserve grace. When you are wrong and you cannot admit you're wrong, you don't deserve grace. I disagree, and I think it's important our kid knows that we will stand up for him. So, am I the a hole? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Top comment is loves Dean Winchester. That conversation between Nichelle and Martin Luther King Jr. was famously groundbreaking. She was going to quit, but he convinced her to stay as a beacon to other people of color for the future. And they got like 6 awards, and they're like, "Oh my God, awards! First ones ever." United Law says, right, perfect for Black History Month. Absolutely perfect for Black History Month. Like if I had not heard that she was going to quit, but I believe that this happened. Um, she was an inspiration for uh, Black people and Black girls in particular, that they can do anything if they put their mind to it. She became a captain, Captain Uhura. Lieutenant Uhura became a captain eventually in that series. And yeah, I like Star Trek. Just stop it. Stop. I like Star Trek. I also like Star Wars because I'm that kind of a girl. I am a sci-fi kind of girl. Lavender Gwendolyn says, as the little girl, Whoopi Goldberg saw Nichelle Nichols and was inspired to become an actress herself, which she did. Whoopi eventually ended up on Star Trek The Next Generation. It's a story of why representation matters. 100%. So many answers that I guess I'll mention the next story since no one else has, but Avery Brooks took the job as Cisco after his teenage son pointed out how few Black authority figures there were on TV and movies. Not a cop or a district attorney type authority figure, but well, genuine big boss authority figure. The commander of a giant important station. He ended up taking the role. Cool. Hollow Shell says, and Whoopi herself was an inspiration to Jordan Peele, and wasn't he the first Black man to get a Best Screenplay Oscar or something? So it's literally 3 generations of representation. Salty Gur says, here you go. LeVar Burton has explicitly stated he was inspired by Nicole Nichols and the character of Lieutenant Uhura. However, the inspiration flow with Whoopi Goldberg went the other way. Goldberg was a fan of the original Star Trek, and Nichelle Nichols asked Burton to help her get a role on Star Trek The Next Generation. By the way, LeVar Burton is an awesome person. I have met him. When my daughter was 3, we were at a Comic-Con, or participating in the Comic-Con, not just attending. And my daughter was 3, and they had, Reading Rainbow was the big thing back then. And he did the little Reading Rainbow spiel for her. It's the nicest person. He's very sweet. All right, next we have Neighbors from Hell, entitled New Neighbors Using My Mailbox and Address. Oh, heck no, that's not how that works. Front new neighbors moved in about 5 weeks ago, and turned out my parents caught them rummaging through my mailbox twice and didn't tell me about it until today, when I received government benefits letter with in my neighbors' names, but with my address. Our house numbers are not similar at all, so this seems weird. I don't know how many other letters of theirs I've been getting, or how many other times they've gone through my mailbox. I'm planning on writing a return to sender, but is there anything else I can do? I can have a strong feeling they're misusing my address to qualify for benefits individually, and do not really want to get involved with that. I'm also not okay with them going through my own mailbox for contacts out in the United States. Um, Mind Fluffy says contact your local postmaster and explain the situation. Follow their advice. Postmasters do not mess around. I should have done that. We would get um, benefits letters for people that had stayed at the property I worked at. That was not their address. I'd put nasty notes on them, send them back. This is not a home address. Most people didn't have a home because they were grifters. Vanessa Alexis says, she's not the top comment or anything. Yep, I had to get in contact with mine because of a past tenant. Dude went to jail for 70 years for doing awful things to kids. He had been in jail for like half a decade before my husband bought our house. Then it was another 4 years before my husband met me and I moved in. We started getting letters meant for original owner, calling him all sorts of warranted names. But the problem is he hasn't lived there in over a decade. They put giant cardboard signs on our fence in the middle of the night with all kinds of swears and slurs. Cops didn't do anything. When I got the postmaster involved, we stopped getting hateful holiday cards and weren't bothered anymore. I wish they had done their research. I feel for them if their children were victims. We just had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Make sure that the person you're targeting doesn't live there. Because targeting innocent people and accusing them of awful things is not a good look for you. Next, we have Benign Existence. And it's entitled A Mouse Hitched a Ride to School in My Kid's Boot. Oh, God. Oh, I hate he's so bad. I was texting my fifth graders that I'd be later than normal coming home from work, and one of them responded, Mom, when I went to school, I took off my boot in the hallway and a mouse and Mr. Teacher got it and brought it outside. No joke. Now we have two kittens who sometimes leave us gifts in our footwear, pom-pom socks, toy mice, but to date, never an actual mouse. Apparently, one of them stunned the mouse, put it in my kid's boot. My son somehow put the boot on and walked to school without noticing. How we'll never know. He sometimes has Princess and the Pea levels of sensory issues. Guilty as charged. I emailed the teacher who sent a picture of the evidence. Apparently, a lot of the students wanted to make it a class pet. Wish I could attach the picture. The boot is upright with an upside down plastic bin over it to keep the mouse from escaping. The mouse is peeking out over the top with its front leg on the top lip and the hind leg still in the boot, looking very cute but bewildered. Poor mouse. Anyways, teacher liberated the mouse outside school. I hope it continues to live an adventurous life. Edit mouse is now in profile pic, but it is not. Yeah, she should have put it in. Oh, here we go. Here's a link. Oh, he is cute. I will show you a little mousy. See, he's right there. He right there. It's a little mousy. Still looks kind of stunned to me. Poor little mousy. Okay, mousy, have an adventurous life. But I think they should have made him the class pet. Because that's how I am. All right, then we have evil buildings. This is the Plenmont Observatory in Guernsey. I didn't so click on it. It makes it look like it's yeah, that looks evil. The red makes it look like it's got red eyes and it's all looking at you and it's got like 5 eyes. It got like 5 eyes. They're all staring at you. They're not staring at us though. They're staring off in the future. Off into distance. Blue Tommy's the top commenter. He says, they really know what they're doing with the red light. It's a Cylon building, new model discovered. Um, just no mother-in-law. Just no Mel. Entitled, apparently I'm one of those crazy moms because I bought a car seat. Today was my just no mother-in-law's birthday. I'm currently 15 weeks pregnant, and yesterday I bought a car seat for my baby. I know it's early, but two of my friends experienced crazy delays getting theirs. We casually mentioned it over lunch, and this woman turned to me, serious faced and all, and said, "You're being crazy. In my time, we didn't need that at all." I asked, "Are you expecting me to deliver a baby, grab it under my arm, and leave the hospital?" She goes, "That's what I did with mine, and they were in my arms the whole way home." I clapped back. "Your time was 36 years ago. You didn't even have seatbelts back then, but now you have." My husband interrupted before escalated, but damn, I'm still flabbergasted. No, ma'am. That was not 36 years ago. That was more like 56 years ago. Same entry says my daughter was born in 1993. I had a car seat buckled into my car the last month of my pregnancy. It was not unusual, and anybody who tells you was being irresponsible. Llama Mama says they won't let you leave the hospital in the US without one, and that is true. They will not. Buffalo Empty says, just so you know, you're going to get a lot of that from the older generation. My grandma has an issue with me breastfeeding. Don't get me started. Because she had babies that were pushing formula hard, and she was basically peer pressured into thinking breastfeeding isn't what's best for your baby. Also, not mocking formula feeders, fed its best no matter what. Best to just come up with a new comeback phrase like times have changed and research has shown that it was very dangerous. I'm happy your babies weren't harmed while you were all uninformed. But that's also survivor bias because others weren't so lucky. Yes, exactly. Aurora Borealis says she's flat out wrong. I remember the PSAs in the early 80s. Buckle up, it's the law. I think they had deadly, disturbing images in those. Yes, we were traumatized. We were traumatized as children. Definitely was required by most states by the time she brought her own home, for sure. Tulsa says, I'm 28 and I definitely had a car seat. My siblings, 30 and 32, definitely had car seats. My oldest is 30 and he definitely had a car seat because they already wouldn't let you leave without one. My husband, 35, definitely, and his two older siblings, 38 and 41, had car seats. That is downright neglect and child abuse to say that she didn't do that for her children. Yeah, I'm surprised they let you leave, lady. Did you tell them you were walking home? Because it was only 38 years ago, and I guarantee you they had a car seat. Guarantee you. Trying to think of my yeah, I can't remember if the late 70s had them. I mean, they had them. We had them back in the 60s, but they weren't very good. Next is retail hell, 4 days until Christmas. It's kind of rude, but it says if you decided to go Christmas shopping on December 24th, you don't deserve to find the gift you're looking for. I mean, I have gone Christmas shopping the day before Christmas. It happens sometimes. My dad had a bad habit of it. And they say, granted, it's 4 days until Christmas, but the sentiment is still the same. I mean, I know that when I go out um, for Christmas week, I may not find one I particularly want, but I have always found something. Blame tag says, gotta find that old meme. If not my fault, you waited until Mary's water broke to go buy a present. Mm. Mama Gone says, a few years ago, I was helping round up customers since we were closing. The girl told me I was probably going to be alone on Christmas because I'm such a biatch for kicking them out. I looked at her and said, at least I didn't wait till the last minute to go Christmas shopping. The security guard that was near me laughed. Fozzie says, I got accused of ruining Christmas because our store sold out of Christmas trees 2 weeks ago. Dude, if I'm telling you right now, you do not wait till the last minute to buy a Christmas tree. You don't even wait till Thanksgiving to buy a Christmas tree. Trust me. Trust me, I've been looking for years and I keep going too late. Because I don't think about Christmas until after my birthday. Never mind, at that point, we'd had them for a month. We got them early, didn't get that many this year, and just like everything else, they're pricey everywhere you go. We were priced really well, so we sold our small supply quickly. Are you going to get more? No, that's just the one day. N- Sorry, no, just the one delivery this year, which kind of sucks. Character budget says I work in a movie theater and have customers like that all year round. What do you mean the movie I absolutely wanted to see that came out 3 months ago is no longer in the theater? You guys suck. I just assume that if it's been 2 weeks, I've missed it, which means I never go to the movies. um, are infuriating. Trump admits the premiums will skyrocket and blames Obama for it. It's not Obama's fault, sir. It's yours. Top comment is, so it's Obama's fault that Trump got rid of healthcare plan that Obama created to make healthcare affordable. Did I get that right? And Fish Dog says, well, duh. If Obama didn't go get people's hopes up with several years of lower cost healthcare costs, then Trump wouldn't have needed to roll back the plan and thus healthcare costs. Always the Democrats' fault. Everything's always the Democrats' fault. Always. Always everything. Republicans can take no responsibility for anything they do. Next, we have Am I the Devil? Anything but being adult. This was from left wing male advocates. Weaponized incompetence is just code for men needs to listen to women and do what they're told. I don't think so. I think it's you need to do it, be an adult and do it. I'm not sure if any of you have seen the latest buzzword used by FDS. I don't know what FDS and Radfems type. But weaponized incompetence has resurfaced recently as a popular topic. What it's supposed to mean is that there are men who try and fail at household tasks on purpose so that their wife or girlfriend will reluctantly do them for them instead. Yes, and that's a problem. That's very common, sir. Remember, this is the devil speaking. 1, if a man legitimately doesn't know how to do female coded task, what he probably needs is patience and understanding, not abuse, which is what it says. After all, it is weaponized incompetence when women refuse to do carpentry, yard work, the trash, automotive work, masonry, appliance work, or any other male coded task. At best, this goes both ways, so any woman thinking about this should check herself. Don't throw the first stone and all that. Well, I've done carpentry. I've done wall work. I do the trash. I have to do the trash. I have to go get the thing today. I put it out there yesterday. Automotive work. We can do automotive work. A lot of us like to do automotive work. The problem with doing automotive work is that men look at you like you're stupid and try to rip you off. Masonry, no, women do that. Appliance work. What do you mean appliance work? You mean fixing appliances? Masonry is masonry and carpentry. Those are professions. You mean around the house, like little fix-up jobs? I can do that if I have to. I don't have to, but I could if I had to. Or I call my son, make him do it because he's good at that. That's what he does for a living. 2, more often than not, men are perfectly capable of doing female coded tasks around the house. So why don't they do them? Why don't they do them? What really is happening is that men and women have different opinions about how those tasks need to be done. No, we don't. As long as it's done, I'm happy. Just do it. do it and get it done correctly, and stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. So when a man does a task, he does it differently than a woman would, which somehow means he's wrong and incompetent. No, that is not true at all. That's not what we're talking about. This is a big point in the popular book, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. The problem is very often that the wife micromanages her husband and resorts to nagging and yelling to get her way, which puts him off from wanting to do anything for her. Why does she have to nag? Why can't you just do it? Just saying. After all, why even try when no matter what you do, you're going to be wrong and yelled at for it? Relationship would be so much healthier for everyone involved, including women, if we stopped treating male preferences as wrong and started instead talking about respecting our differences and having patience with each other. Women do not yell at you the first time they ask you to do something when you do it wrong or don't do it completely. That's usually the problem, is it's not done completely. And I mean, in our house, it's the opposite. I'm the one that get nagged on all the time. Amazing Emu says it's not a preference to, for example, put a dish that's still oily with smears of food in the drying rack. Exactly. It's not doing a job completely, and in most situations, the minor frustration, yelling, and nagging is after going over the task so many times. Isn't language fascinating? I've worked with violent men who have described their wives as abusive for asking them to do a job they don't want to do, but when they need to describe why they are in court mandated program for committing family violence is I gave her a warning tap or barely touched her. Sad Bag says, I agree. Different preferences is loading the silverware handle up or handle down, putting the bowls on the top rack instead of the bottom, not rinsing it underwater and putting it away. I also haven't ever found a guy who actually does these male coded things. I've taught grown men how to put washer fluid in the car, how to put air in a tire, how to set up their electronics for them, and no one of any gender knows how to do everything. I found that abusive men are the ones most likely to say she's yelling when she isn't, to say they hate men who hit women, and always have a way to make it her fault for starting it or not knowing when to stop or listening to his warning. They genuinely think if you survive, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, nobody's good at everything. I mean, we do have, like, my husband takes care of the outside of the house, and I generally take care of the inside of the house. We had a discussion about this recently. Unfortunately for me, the inside of the house is all the time, and outside of the house is seasonal. So he gets breaks and I don't. But he does fix a lot of stuff. And he still doesn't put the dishes away right. It drives me insane. Like, we've lived here since 2008, and he still does not know where the dishes go. That's weaponized incompetence. That's like, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to do it right. Like, he can find them when he needs them, strangely enough. I'm reading this one because I want to read the answer to it. Wolf on My Noggin says, I had to teach my husband how to use a dishwasher when he moved in with me. That's because his parents made him hand wash all dishes and even get rid of the dishwasher that came with the house. Now he loves the dishwasher. Sadbug says, I just read the manuals. It always surprises people for some reason, although it does when I say the dirty part of the dish faces the water jet because that's what cleans them. But that feels more like not thinking it through. I feel like I would be much less helpful as a partner now if they aren't even trying. But that's also partly because if you don't know in your 20s, then maybe no one taught you. But if you don't know in your 40s, I'm too tired. There's just less excuse to not having read something, look it up, or ask a friend by this age, or go on YouTube and find a video about it. And yes, I rearrange stuff in the dishwasher all the time. It's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's not my preferred way. I'm the one that has to put them away because somebody doesn't know where anything is. Next, we have Petty Revenge, and it's entitled Closed a Popular Pizza Place for 2 days. When I was 15, I worked at a very popular pizza place in Canada, rhymes with nut. Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut. It was run and managed by a couple of college kids who thought they were big stuff running a pizza joint. Congratulations. I was in between work and didn't want to work for a fast food place. My first choice at the local arena fell through because I had to be 16 to work with certain chemicals and stuff they had for the pool. Months months away, but it was a no-go. So I bit the bullet and applied, and I got the job and was hired to work in the kitchen. Within a month, they wanted me to learn how to make dough. I wasn't for it because that meant I had to come in every weekend at 6 a.m. to have dough ready for when they opened at noon. I said, fine, I'd learn, but I don't want to do it every weekend. I was a kid. I enjoyed my weekend time and was much happier working weeknights. Kids should work on weekends, sorry. That's what you're for. They assured me I only have to work one weekend dough shift a month. I said, Okay, great." They got my partner in crime, we'll call Scott, to agree to the same thing. They both learned and nailed it. We both learned and nailed it. Within 2 weeks of learning, we were back to weekend shifts, back to back weekend shifts. I worked every Saturday, Scott every Sunday going forward. I went to my boss and told her, and she laughed, said, "Too bad." They all thought it was hilarious, the group of them. All servers in their 20s, they were the joke of the pizza joint. We were the joke of the pizza joint. They knew we needed jobs and wouldn't quit. And then I went home on one Saturday, and my parents said the arena had called and wanted me to come in for another interview. I went and told I would be offered the job in 2 weeks, the day after my birthday. I asked if they needed anyone else, and they said yes. And I told them my friend Scott and how he worked, and he said to hand in his resume and he'd get it set up. Time for petty revenge. Why is this not cooperating when they time for petty revenge. The next Saturday, I went to work and sat around and did absolutely nothing. I drank chocolate milk and hung out in the booths of the restaurant, twirling my thumbs. They showed up for open, and I was standing there, apron and name tag in hand. I quit, I said. My boss laughed and said, whatever, we were going to fire you anyway. Then commented that if I were her, she wouldn't have showed up at all and screwed her over for not making any dough. Idiot. I laughed and said, nah, I hung out all morning and made no dough, so you still need to pay me for my shift later. The look on her face was gold. She ended up having to close the store for the day because they had no dough made. Then on top of it, Scott repeated my quitting method the following day. We worked together at the arena for the rest of high school and told that story fondly. Edit. Wow, so this blew up. I was not expecting it. Yeah, so the process of making dough, or at least when I worked there, it was nonstop grind, mix dough, pull out, start, next batch. While it's mixing oil pans, portion out dough, put in pans, fill rack, and put in speed proofer for an hour, then cooled storage, and repeat nonstop for 6 hours. On occasion, you could use the day old dough, but in a pinch, but it did not hold up, and the pizza typically came out very flat. That being said, the boss there was always kept stuff as thin as possible and would not have been able to run front of house and the back of house at the same time to have made the dough on the spot. We were in a small town at what was the busiest pizza place there. Fridays, evenings, Saturdays, and Sunday with the cheap buffet, we were crazy. Thanks for the love. Glad people are enjoying the story. Hats off, dude. Also, it looks like your petty ex boss already downvoted this, so I'll vote it back up. Oh. And everybody's spelling needed with a KN. Next is Am I the Jerk? Oh, my throat. Sorry. It's not bothering me other times, only when I'm talking like this. Next is Am I the Jerk? Entitled AITJ for refusing to redo my entire dinner party because my friend's new boyfriend doesn't eat non-bland food. Food can be bland and still be good, dude. Chicken and dumplings, anyone? I, 42 female, hosted a small dinner party and told everyone at the time I'd be cooking spicy Korean style ribs, roasted veggies, and kimchi fried rice, sorry, kimchi fried rice. Everyone was excited except my friend's new boyfriend, Evan, who apparently doesn't eat anything strongly flavored. He didn't tell me about this beforehand. When he arrived, he asked, "What else are you making?" I said that was a meal. He says, "Yeah, but what's the normal option?" I offered extra rice and plain veggies. He rolled his eyes and said, "I should expect guests with sensitive palates and cook something neutral like boiled chicken or plain pasta." No, you were invited for this meal, the meal she described. If you don't want it, and I probably wouldn't be happy about it, you can decline or you can bring your own, or you can come for dessert. You have all kinds of options. You can come and not eat. You can come and watch everybody else eat. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. My friend pulled me aside and I said I should whip something up to make him feel welcome. I said, "No, this is not a restaurant." Evan sulked and barely ate anything. Now my friend says I embarrassed him. AITJ. No. No. He knew what was there. He could have stopped by Taco Bell. It's a family joke. My brother-in-law always used to go. we would have we would tell him we're having a meal, and he'd come. I just either just went to Taco Bell or he'd come with the Taco Bell. He is a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Past gears, the top comment says, "NTJ, you summed it up yourself. You are not a restaurant. The onus is on the girlfriend for not telling you she is dating a toddler with no manners." Ms. Ellie says, "This was literally a deal breaker for me when dating. I made three things very clear from the gate. I'm dating for commitment, not just for fun. My daughter will always come first, and I'm done having kids. No exceptions. I love to cook, so if your preferred meal is chicken nuggets, I'm out. I'm more than happy to accommodate food allergies, but I moved out of my parents' house to get away from the bland dishes and to have zero plans on revisiting that era." Satin T says, "Yes, it's not your job to babysit adults who can't handle rude food. Let them pout. That's their problem, not yours." Suitable Tier says, "Even if he has sensory issues that restrict his food choices, it's rude to expect to be catered to, especially as a plus run, not a primary guest." Exactly. Anxious routine is the second top comment. And they say, "The normal options is he eats whatever's available that his palate can handle and then stops somewhere on the way home to grab a Happy Meal." I can't imagine, like, showing up for dinner when I know what dinner is and asking for something else. That's crazy. I mean, I can usually find something I'll eat. Um, we had somebody. I used to be in Mom's Club. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a club. It's a social, basically a social club for moms that for stay-at-home moms. It's only during the day. So if you're a shift worker, you're screwed. If your husband's a shift worker, I should say, you're screwed. They only let you go out once a month with the gang as a official official activity. Um, so once a month, all the moms could go out once a month. Sometimes we didn't go out at all. Sometimes we did potluck. Sometimes, but usually we went out to eat or had some other activity, bowling or whatever. And we had one member. None of us could stand her. At least most of us couldn't. Um, we went to Indian, we went to Mexican, we went to Italian, we went everything. She would complain every time. Why can't we just go have American food? Like Italian food is American food. And one time we went to a restaurant that I didn't care for because I was familiar with it. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was all everything I'd ever had there was too spicy for me, and I admit I'm a wuss. So it probably wouldn't have been. It wasn't too spicy for anybody else, just me. But I went anyway, and I got dessert while everybody else had dinner, and that's fine. I ate before I went, and I had dessert. Nobody complained. I didn't complain that we were going to a place that I didn't care for. A lot of times she didn't go because she didn't like what we were having. I can't stand that one. It's still to this day, like, if we hear certain we ended up just most of the time because we didn't want the kids to know we were gossiping about somebody, because, little pitchers have big ears and big mouths. Um, so started calling her by her initials, and every time I hear those initials now, I still get triggered. And I ran across her last name, and I had to text my best friend and go, "Oh my god, this lady has the same last name, and I can't stand it." That's funny. Expectation versus reality. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. To do my middle. My middle. There we go. It is entitled "My Nail Tech's First Time Trying This Style." So I've always wanted to try to pop art nails. Those are really cool, but they look like AI. The original looks like AI to me. So there you go. That's the nails. Oh, that's really good. Isn't that cool? She did good. I should send that to my daughter's best friend. Just opened up her own nail salon recently. Yeah, I'll let my daughter send her that. I'm sure she'll watch this eventually. Yeah, that was a really good deal. Awesome. Karate Donkey, not even the top comment, but should be. Says, looks like she nailed it. Sorry, I'll see myself out. Love Me Blue answered her, yes, very polished. Teehee. Ramen says, the top ramen answers, cute ickle. Sorry, I got nothing. And then somebody puts the OP put in a GIF, the more you know GIF with the cloud and the star. It says there was an attempt. I'm gonna have to steal that one. I like that one. All right, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Also, please leave comments in the chat and in the comment section below. YouTube likes that stuff. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually around noon Eastern. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, tell your coworkers. If you have a story of your own, come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the day's current live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the email is also in the description for your convenience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. It's not about the Reddit reads. It's not about the reality TV BS. It's about the community. We're trying to build a community to help people that might be lonely or going through stuff. All right, this is from LA, a real estate. This is our real estate uh, time. All right, are you ready? Sit down because you're not going to be standing up for this because this is a shocker. $26,900,000. It's ridiculous. For 5 bedrooms, 8 baths, and 9,000 square feet. It's not even that big. All right. I will make sure I share this time. I'm like, yes. So there it is. There's your. So, that's it. I'm gonna have to figure out how to full screen these. It's nice brick, so it'd be low maintenance. And that even looks like it might be a metal roof, which is also low maintenance. This is weird. Must be a California thing. Stairs going down already with the stairs. There's a sign that says California over there. I don't know why. It's really old timey. These will have to be replaced, so that's not low maintenance. California. Why is the forn? Why is the forn underlined? Oh, is that the R? Oh, that's the R. Never mind. I'm silly. Oh wow, that's cool. I don't like it being white. I'd have to repaint, but that's very neat. Very rustic inside, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Yay, the kitchen's not completely white. I don't mind the white walls. It's the cabinets being white that I'm not partial to. Sir, there's a wolf in your living room. I love the fireplace. That's beautiful. They are very, very happy to be living in California, apparently. I don't think I would have a picture of a car crash on my wall. Why do you have a picture of a car crash on your wall? And bears in your bathroom. Bathroom bears. Oh, are these the bears from the toilet commercial? From the toilet paper commercial? That is quite the library. Holy cow, I love it. Look like we don't have that much time. Walk. Oh my. Okay, that's too busy for me. Is that from an actual book? Somebody let me know in the comments. Is there not a complete? Why does it look like that? Why do you have dogs in under glass? Are you going to eat them? Like pheasant under glass? Or are you just too lazy to dust? I'm too lazy to dust, so I shouldn't be talking. What is this supposed to be? It's two sinks. Why? I'm very confused about that room. It's a pool. Better have a pool for 27 million dollars. By the time you add it all up, it'll be over 27 million. 1948. Why? That's very odd. There's some very odd stuff in this house. The skull and crossbones with the medical plus sign. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. This looks like an office. Why do we have so many seats? Are people working here? I'm so confused about some things. Why is there a silo? I'm sorry, that's goofy. No, sir, silos are not attached to the house in the country. That's not how that works. I'm sorry, the silo is super weird. Super duper weird. Only two-car garage? What? $27 million and you only get two cars? That don't make no sense. That's kind of cool. I wish they would show the whole thing. Is it teeny tiny? Is that why you're not showing the whole thing? I'm sorry, the silo's killing me. The silo is killing me. That's it. Extraordinary home, architectural masterpiece by a Hollywood icon, but it doesn't say who. The house that Pinterest built. How old is this house? Oh, it was built in 2015. And it's only got a little over half an acre. Oh, hold on though, so that's nice. It's in a neighborhood. Half an acre. It's too much house for that amount of space. 6 full bathrooms and 2 half baths. Walk-in pantry, walk-in closet, living room. They didn't really show off the house very well, if you ask me. Has a steam shower, so you couldn't tell that. They didn't hardly show the bathrooms. Double oven, glass cooking appliances, dishwasher, disposal, dryer, refrigerator. Everything stays. Brick hardwood and cement with a little bit of wood, because we saw that. Fireplaces in the living room, dining room, family room. And there are 4 fireplaces, so I don't know where the other one is. Attached garage. Also uncovered spaces in the garage. Attached garage and uncovered spaces. Underground heated fenced pool. That's nice. Has view, but you wouldn't know it by the pictures. Again, this realtor's not good. Or pictures, because she did not do this. Okay, they're asking for like $5 million over the estimate of what they should be asking. Taxes, you ready for the taxes? 112,738 in 2025. So you gotta be rich to afford that house. Oh, that's Diane Keaton's house. Didn't even see that. It's Diane Keaton's 26 million, no, $27 million house. Wow, that's Diane Keaton's house, huh? At least she reads. At least she's a reader. We're talking about the house, and somebody said it reminds them of a dollhouse. And Momik says a Lego set where all the lights are the same size. And Guzzbuster says, I'm over here going, damn, this is a beautiful kitchen. It's crazy how people perceive different things differently. I love those big lights, but it's apparently a huge faux pas. Somebody says they're good in the kitchen, stairs, or the entrance, or the bathroom, interrogation chair room, but not everywhere. So Profession says, oh, an interrogation room. Now I understand. At first I thought she might have just been insane. Oh. Desert Cat said a few years ago, a home she renovated in Tucson was on the market. It was full of giant light fixtures. So apparently Diane Keaton just likes big lights. She likes big lights. And that's okay, I guess, until you're trying to sell your house. Mad dialogue. It's the second top comment, and he says, "What's up with the interrogation chair?" I think that's the chair with all the. I said that room is some get out crap. Frog and Bog says, "Where else are you gonna interrogate someone in the parlor?" Stan says, "The house is made of interrogation lamps, so yes, in fact, one could be interrogated in every scene in the house." Oh, so yeah, Diane Keaton's house. It's up for sale if you want it and can afford it. I can't even afford the taxes. We don't even make that much a year. Just on the taxes. We do nothing else. No heat, no entertainment, nothing. Couldn't even heat that pool. All right, next we have Traumatize Them Back, and it's entitled Creepy Bar Guy Gets Traumatized. For some context, I had my right leg amputated before the knee 5 years ago after suffering my whole life with a congenital bone defect in my right leg. Oh, that sounds horrible. I'm sorry you got that done. I'm sorry you had to get it done, but I'm also happy that you got it done. I use a prosthetic leg and get on well with it a lot of the time. I use a pin lock prosthetic. I don't know what that means, even though I know kind of know prosthetic. I'm kind of tangentially familiar. I have use a pin lock prosthetic and have to use a prosthetic socks to bulk my stump out because the silicone liner makes the stump hot and makes it shrink. Interesting. Anyway, on Saturday I was at my local pub getting into the Christmas spirit. My partner and I are friends with the landlord, so are sat with them, friends happily getting drunk and singing karaoke. I was looking great in a pinstripe jumpsuit and chunky heeled boots. I have a specific leg for heels. Good for you. That's cool. Every time I go to get a drink, these two guys would try engaging me in conversation. Now, you know how you can just tell someone is a complete asshat. These guys gave off that vibe before they even started speaking to me, and after that, every time they opened their mouths, something douchey came out. I can't really remember what, but enough for me to just ignore their presence. About midnight, I was coming in from a smoke, and unfortunately, I had to pass by them to get back to my table. I was limping because I needed to add an extra sock to my stump. As I pass them, the guys are very condescending to me. "Oh, what's the matter? Do your ankles hurt?" With this smug, crap eating grin on his face. Without me missing a beat, I turned slightly toward them and lifted my right leg trouser without saying a word and showed them my prosthetic and dropped my trouser leg back down. I heard him say, "Oh crap, I'm so sorry," as he turns toward the bar and tries to melt into it. His friend went white as a ghost, too. I just walk off, not having said a word to them. I've been dying for something like this to happen ever since I got my first prosthetic and daydream about what I would do if it ever happened. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with this idea on my own, but I got the idea from an entitled parents video one of my favorite YouTubers did a while back. It took 5 years, but finally happened. It was amazing. I'll just correct congratulating her. Oh, there's a good one. Patient activity says, I have a birthmark on my face that looks like a burn scar. When a-holes at bars would ask about it, I tell them it's from a house of fire that killed my family. Savage. I mean, I'd like to ask people about their scars, but I don't. Someday they might tell me. Next, we have confession entitled, I stay up late at night to watch movies specifically so no one joins me. Let me preface this with I love my wife, I love my daughter. However, I do not like watching a movie with them. Movies should be watched in the dark with a big bowl of popcorn and minimal to zero talking. Yeah, not wrong. My wife insists on having the lights on full blast, not even dimmed, but as bright as noon. That is not the way to watch a movie, ma'am. Then she enjoys chatting and then asking 15 minutes later what's going on in the movie. We don't really pay attention to the movies that much anymore because we're doing other stuff while we're watching a movie. So the husband every once in a while say, "Why do you do that?" Like, have you not been watching? I don't know. I haven't been watching. Or when I'm doing my annual Vincent Price marathon in October and call them stupid old movies. Don't ever call an old movie stupid around me. You'll get an earful. You have no socialization, sir. The biggest cardinal sin are distractions. Hey, can you get me some milk? Run to the kitchen and get me a snack. No, go get your own milk and snack. What the heck? When I watch a movie, that's what I'm doing. I watch a movie. No phones, no laptops, no tablets, all the while paying attention to the movie, not 15 other things. Good for you. I'm glad you do that. I should do more of that. So if there's a movie I want to see and I know she won't be interested, I wait for her to go to bed and then make some popcorn, watch a good movie by myself with no distractions. After I type this, I hit post and I'm making some popcorn and watching the new Knives Out movie. I'll see your replies in a couple of hours. Mukau says, I do this too. It gives me a weird sleep schedule, but it's a total vibe. Just you and your entertainment. Somebody deleted their comment. So I don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, I should actually watch movies more often. This is interesting AF, and it's entitled Polar Bears Found Living Together in an Abandoned Weather Station. I might have seen this before, I'm not sure. Sure, it wasn't, of course. You ready? Oh, I got to share. Look at that cute little cuteness. Put the camera in their face. Can you be? My goodness, there's more and more and more of them. There's like 5 of them. I can't believe. That is that. That is interesting. One of somebody put up a screenshot or a still of the. Oh no! Now I gotta show you. Darn it all! Somebody said they needed a picture of this. Wait a second. I said they needed that painted in a painting. So someone painted it for them. How cute. That's adorable. I love it. Thank you, Redditors, for being so entertaining. Says, I got you home. You just give me like 3 minutes. Edit 2. Fun fact, I did color the black in the window, so technically you can still see a large portion of the original image. That's super cute. Super duper cute. Oh, somebody edited it. This is the part you don't see. I love it. Oh, that's excellent. Excellent, excellent. Putting images up for him. All right. Next is Am I the A-hole? AITA for not wearing pants to a party. Definition of pants, please. Because people use that in different ways. In some countries it means one thing, in other countries it means something completely different. Sometimes it means underwear and sometimes it does not. Did you not wear underwear to the party? I'm 21 male, am a college student in a frat, and I'm gay. It's not conservative group. No one has ever given me crap for it, but I'm the only one. Every year my college has a date party to celebrate the end of finals. I didn't pick the theme. It's a split a suit. Basically take components of a suit you have and you have to divide that amongst you and your date. I saw the writing on the wall, a lot of guys being shirtless with blazers and suit pants. A lot of girls in oversized dress shirts and ties with no pants. The issue was that didn't apply to me. I ended up asking a guy from my class I've been casually talking to as a first time hangout situation. Don't worry, he's gay too. I'm not delusional. I asked him what he felt comfortable wearing, and he said he prefers to be dressed. So I told him he could do the dress shirt and pants, and I'd be fine with the remainder. So basically, I wore a blazer, was shirtless with a tie, and had on boxer brief, which to me is on theme. It sounds on theme to me. None of the guys had an issue, but a friend's girlfriend came up and said it was inappropriate and I was making the girls uncomfortable. Why? He's a gay guy. Why are you uncomfortable? Embarrassed for my date, so I left. I felt embarrassed on my date and I left. My date said I had misled him what the party would be like, and I was an a-hole for not dressing appropriately. Now I feel like a jerk. AITA. No, if the girls can wear shirts as dresses, what he had on was not that inappropriate. Razzle Dazzle says NTA, you didn't do anything wrong. People want a sexualized theme until The sexualization goes the wrong way, the wrong way. Valkyrie says, if there's only one pair of pants per outfit, it means half the attendees were wearing their underwear, right? So WTF did they expect? A Bell Rider says, but it's different when girls do it. Sarcastically, of course. Yeah, what's the second one? Le Petit Neep says, NTA, the party theme was deliberately provocative and everyone was okay with it when I thought it meant women showing off their legs and wearing shirts as mini dresses. Exactly. Exactly. Moose Life says exactly this. The party organizers and the people who complained about you to a lesser extent or your date were all AHS. You are NTA. I mean, he was on theme. He was on theme. Other people were wearing similar outfits. Maybe they were uncomfortable because it was pointing out the hypocrisy of the situation. This is from Overheard, entitled, If You Send Chocolate to Australia in December, it makes sense it would be melted. Yeah. I work for a customer service center for a major postal company in Europe. A coworker a few desks over who works for our international shipping department got a bit loud during a call that was obviously quite distressing to him, but hilarious to everyone else in the office. These are the bits I heard and translated into English. If you send chocolate to the middle of Australia in December, it makes sense that it would be melted. Yes, I know it's winter here, but it's summer in Australia and Alice Springs is in a desert. Yes, it's a desert. For the fifth time, I repeat, this is not the coastline. Not all of Australia is a coastline. No, desert is not what I think a beach is. I don't know how it's summer in Australia when it's winter here, but I'm sure it has something to do with our planet being round. Pause. No, that is not a government hoax. I'm going to have to end this call. We cannot reimburse you for the chocolate melt. Listen to me. It's not automatically winter just because it's Christmas. That's not how anything works. You cannot invoke a good Christmas spirit to get reimbursed for this. This is not in our policy document. Yes, I have read our policy document. No, I cannot quote you exactly what the paragraph it doesn't say that because that's something that isn't in the document. In fact, that is how logic works. I don't know how Santa can travel in a sleigh if it's summer in Australia. I'm sorry, that's not part of my postal education. We use planes and trucks. Yes, folks, in the southern hemisphere, the seasons are opposite. So when it is winter in the northern hemisphere, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. And Christmas is just barely summer. If it is winter in the southern hemisphere, it is summer in the northern hemisphere. It is not that difficult. There are two sides to the earth. And somebody commented they don't have a name. That sounds like a skit in the office, pure comedy. Unseen Goblin says it's one of those things that sounds like BS unless you've actually worked in customer service and then you can see it happening. Sure. Hey, Nani Moose's 90s, we were able to match the genome. In the 2020s, we have to explain that the Earth is round. Tom says, no, try to explain, and only to be told that it's a government conspiracy. Next, we have True Off My Chest. My coworker died, and then I realized no one at work ever actually knew him. I work in a large corporate office. One of my coworkers died last week, heart attack, sudden, 46 years old. Oh, that's so sad. He was one of those people who's always around but rarely talked about himself. Friendly but quiet, helpful. Ate lunch alone but didn't seem sad. HR sent out a formal email. People say the standard things. So sad, gone too soon. He was such a nice guy. But the truth hit me during the memorial Zoom our manager had. No one actually knew anything about him. Not his favorite food, not his family situation, not what he did for fun, not even whether he liked the job. Someone said he loved cats, but that was only because he once used a cat background on Teams. We all talked about him like he was a concept. After the call, I just sat at my desk feeling hollow. We spent years sitting near this man, sharing air and deadlines and microwaving lunches next to him, and he left the world with almost no imprint in the place he worked 40 hours a week for a decade. The only reason I know he collected old watches is because he sold one to me once when he needed quick cash. He was embarrassed to even talk about it. His desk was already cleaned out. IT deactivated his email. The new hire starts in 2 weeks. I keep staring at the empty chair and thinking, is this what happens to quiet people? Do we just disappear between calendar invites? Pretty much, yeah. Industrious Science says, I got pushed down a flight of stairs and was permanently disabled at work and never went back. I ran into a colleague a few years later who said some people thought I died, others thought I went to prison. Unsaleable Potato says it sounds like the company was trying to keep what happened secret due to liability issues. Yeah, for sure. Or privacy issues. Next one. I worked in a company for 5 years, left during COVID. I was the only one in the office, sent out a goodbye email to maybe 3 people responded. I was in a role where I probably dealt with 40 to 50 regularly and met hundreds through travel. At the end of the day, none of it matters outside of one person. There's a good chance I'll never interact with any of them again. That's sad. Because, I mean, I worked at places for 2 years and still interact with people that I worked with there. Next is from What Do I Do? And it's entitled, My neighbor keeps asking to borrow tools and never returns them. Now he wants my new pressure washer. Heck no. No is a complete sentence and you're free to say it. This has been going on for a while now. My neighbor, mid-40s maybe, moved in and seemed cool at first. Asked if he could borrow my hedge trimmer once. No problem, right? Well, he kept it forever and I had to go knock on his door to get it back. Then it was my ladder, my electric drill, extension cords, you name it. Every time I have to go ask for them back because he just never returns anything on his own. The drill came back with a dead battery too. Of course it did. He's not returning it. He's not. How is he? It's your drill. How is he supposed to charge the battery? I had $200 aside from my stake enough. I don't know what that means. Stakes. STAKE. I had $200 aside from my stake enough to get a decent Ryobi pressure washer from Home Depot. I've been wanting one forever to had it delivered. It was out front unboxing it when he comes over all excited and asking when he can borrow it. Sir, it's not even out of the box. Cool your jets. I kind of laughed it off and said something maybe sometime, but honestly, I don't want him touching it. The thing is, we share a driveway situation, duplex setup, so I see him literally every day and I really can't avoid the guy. He texted me about asking about it again because his deck is disgusting and he needs it. Go to Home Depot and like get one yourself or you can rent them. How do I tell him no without making things super weird? Or should I just let him borrow it once and be super clear about bringing it back? I'm honestly tired of the tool library, but I don't want to start neighborhood drama since we're going to be living next to each other for a while. Oh, there's a good one. You can literally just explain that you don't lend stuff out anymore because people weren't bringing them back. That's good. That's really good. I would. This is a good one. Rumble Card says, "Tell him another friend borrowed it but hasn't returned it yet, and how much you hate that." So that's a good one. Tell him somebody else has it. So once you tell him somebody else has it, maybe he'll forget you have it. Next, we have entitled parents. Entitled, I graduated and suddenly I owe my parents wrong. I just graduated college and I still have not landed a solid offer yet, so I picked up a job just to stay busy and build a little cushion. but it feels like graduation flipped a switch at home. My parents basically stopped helping overnight and started keeping score. Now they even want rent, though living at home. I'm paying my own food and basics. And on top of that, they're expecting me to hand over a big chunk of my paycheck. Their line is that they raised me, so I owe them. Your children do not owe you anything. You owe them everything. How many times do I have to say it? This makes me feel angry, stuck because I do not make much and I'm trying to save to move out, but my cash keeps getting pulled away. Poor kid. I'm cutting everything I can for essentials. I try one of those help me lower the price promos on TikTok and chip away at the price with a couple of taps. Just pay less for stuff I already need, like toothpaste, toilet paper, and laundry detergent. Even after my kids graduated, I still bought them their toothpaste, their toilet paper, and laundry detergent. Heck, I'm still paying the registration on one of the cars. And that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. He pays the insurance. It's fine. And yeah, I hate admitting this, but sometimes I'll quietly use a little bit of my parents' stuff when they aren't looking because I'm that broke right now. It also feels messed up. Has anyone dealt with parents treating you like an ATM? How do you set boundaries without blowing everything up? This whole thing is giving me the ick. Snowward says, you don't owe your parents for raising you. They chose to have sex and make a baby. Find a few people to be roommates. Yeah, just a room. Probably be cheaper. William, woman in question, children never ever owe their parents for being raised. The parents choose to birth you and take on the legal, moral, and ethical obligations of feeding, clothing, housing, educating, and caring for you. They made that decision on their own. 100%. Rusty Edsel says the replies to this defending the parents makes me question how many with that line of thinking have raised their kids into their 20s, much less have a kid at all. Asking their kid to pay rent when they are fresh out of college is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Tacking on because they owe them when highlights show their short-sightedness. Yeah, when your kid is first out of college, they need every cent to get out of your house. Do they not want her to leave ever? Because that's what they're setting it up for. I would be more sympathetic to the parents if he was a dropout with no job and wasn't even trying to look for one. But that isn't the case here. Yes, if your kid is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then by all means, you have to do something. But if your kid is behaving in an acceptable manner, they have a job, they're in school or have a job, and they're trying to save money up to get out of the house, you encourage that, not discourage that. All this will do will set back their child's future while driving a wedge in their relationship. Exactly. Somebody says, my mom kicked me out when I was 18. My dad took me in, but the deal was that if I wasn't in school, I had to pay rent. And he is the most annoying guy to owe money to. It's fine. It got me to move out and become my own person. There's no wedge between us other than Fox News poisoning his brain. Slave Hippie says these same dumb parents are the ones who expect their child to take care of them when they get old, too. They make it impossible to get ahead in life and then turn around and burden you further when they get old. They expect you to help them. To be honest, it's mostly boomers who are like this, not surprising at all. The generation that was given everything and whom everyone else still magically owes for some reason. Don't wanging help them. They deserve every bit of this. River Running says rent is a valid request. No, it's not. It's not. Rent is not a valid request on that under those circumstances. Oh, no consequences. Entitled, not OOP. My in-laws make sure there was a airtight prenup. Now they think I should help my cheating wife because she relied on my money. Ugh. And it was deleted. That's BS. See, this is why you don't just tag it. This is why you go to the trouble to copy and paste. Copy and paste. Let's see if we can find another one. We'll find another one. It's fine. See, that one looked like it was there. There was no indication that it wasn't actually there. Last month? Yeah, we got one. Okay. We got another one. It'll be fine. This one is entitled. This is from Oh No Consequences, entitled "OP and wife rent a house at $1,000 below market rate from a generous old man. When the man finds out they're pregnant, he offers to take off another $600 as a gift. Wife's OP's wife blows up and says rent should be free. He retracts the offer and increases the rent by $1,000 when their lease ends. Good for him. That's how you treat people, ungrateful people. This is originally an AITAH for blowing up at my pregnant wife and putting my foot down after her blow up. Created the account because my wife has read it, but I'm thinking she don't care. I don't care if she can find it, but the account is already created. We are renting a 2-bedroom house from an older man. I called him G. I hate that. George. We'll call him George. I don't really know how to describe George, but older retired military is the closest. This man has been nothing but kind to us for far more than either of our parents have been. We live in California, and the average rent in our area is around $2,600 for a 2-bedroom. At first, we were skeptical because the house was advertised, but George wanted to meet the tenants personally before anything else. The listing stated $2,500, but also stated negotiable. We met with George, and I don't know if he liked us or felt sorry for us because we told him our story, but he offered us a place for $1,600. Any problem we ever had, though, throughout the 6 years my wife and I have lived in the house, it was fixed within 48 hours. George is a landlord everyone wishes they had. He isn't money hungry, and if rent is a bit late, he understands as long as you keep him informed. We haven't had any issues with him in 6 years. 6 years. That's over half a decade. I've asked him why he is renting the house out so cheap, and his story broke my heart. He bought the house for his daughter a couple of years ago before he moved in, but unfortunately she and her fiance died in a car crash and he couldn't find the heart to sell it, but also just didn't want it to stay empty. During COVID, when my wife lost her job and I had to take a pay cut, I called him and told him about the situation, asked if it was possible to perhaps pay a couple hundred less in rent, and then I will pay him everything back once COVID stopped. He came over to talk to my wife and I. After 2 hours of talking, he said that he would forgive half our rent until the whole COVID thing is over, and then we can just go back to the original contract. I can't describe how happy I was. I thanked him with tears in my eyes, and the $700 saved on rent, we were able to keep our head above water during that crisis. Above it all, above it, the kind of man George is. My wife is currently 5 months pregnant. George had some health scares, and so we haven't seen him for the last 6 months. He came over the day before yesterday to tell us he is healthy again and will take up the care responsibility if anything is needed, give him a call. He saw my wife and obviously the belly and asked how far along she was, and she told him, and he just had this smile from ear to ear saying congratulations. Before he walked off, he said the kids are expensive, so as a baby gift from us, he'll make the rent and even $1,000 until the baby is born. I have no idea why, but for some reason, this set my wife off completely. She started yelling at George, calling him an old man that is looking down on us, and that he can take his useless gift and shove it up his butt. She was yelling for like 3 minutes, and every time I tried to stop her, she would just get louder and louder. They said louder and louder. I don't know what got into my wife, but at the end of her rant, she said, if you really want to gift us something for our baby, you should not let us pay rent to you at all, you stupid wanging old man. That is what you call a gift. No. George took everything she said, took everything she said and didn't say a word back. His face just went from happy to completely emotionless. After my wife was done, he just left. I blew up on my wife and asked her what the way she was thinking, as George never did anything wrong to us. She started to cry and refused to talk to me. She would start crying, but I caught on to the crocodile tears. I told her to stop because I wanted an explanation. Yesterday morning, before I left to work, I told her she better be ready or not when I get home to talk about what happened, and I will not accept her fake tears. I got a text from George telling me we have to talk. He asked to meet me at the house at 5 and I agreed. We met up at the house and he asked to come in. We sat in the living room and he asked if my wife could join us and she did. He did not ask why, what happened, nothing that he did was lay out and what will be happening going forward. He said the gift will no longer be happening and then we will expect full rent by the end of the month, no excuses. He said the rent will stay 1600 or until our lease is up for renewal, which at the ending of this year was when the lease is over. We are more than welcome to renew, and then he will be charging us market rate for the house. That is more than $1,000 increase. I tried to talk to him, but he refused to listen and then just walked out of the house. My wife was white as a ghost on the couch and stammered that we are going, what are we going to do? Because she knows $1,000 increase in the rent will lead us back to living paycheck to paycheck. My paycheck is enough to cover literally every single bill until my promotion in 14 months. I blew up and told her this is the crap her doing. She asked me to run after George and talk to him or call him and try and talk to him, but George is refusing. The only message I got back was please contact me if it has something to do with the house, not for personal matters, as our relationship will only be strictly landlord and tenant that it is. You're missing a potential grandpa for your kid doing the crap like this, lady. My wife is frantically trying to call George and apologize, but he isn't answering her calls. He knows her part-time job paycheck may not be enough, and I told her we will need to downsize if she is not happy. I'm not happy with my wife at all. She is calling me an a-hole because I'm mad at her. 1,000 doesn't sound like a lot for some people, but for me it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money every month. That's $12,000 a year. That's a salary for some people. My wife paycheck would not have been touched for rent or anything, but now it has to, as I told her, she will cover the $1,000 if she wanted to stay in this house, and as I refuse to take up longer hours and more shifts. She's devastated because her part-time job salary might not be enough, and she will have to go back to work full-time. Sorry if my post is all over the place. I'm tired and my emotions are not in the right place currently as I'm stressing about everything that hasn't even crossed my mind before and things I haven't had to stress over. The situation sounds rough, I know, but like I said above, I'm up for a promotion for my manager's job when he retires in 14 months. Are you sure you're going to get that? Because sometimes you don't. So I wouldn't count on it. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. I'm assured to job and have it in writing. Well, that's good, but that's still no guarantee. The increase is enough for my wife to only work part-time, but that will only be in 14 months. And she has to cover the missing 1,000 for the rent as I'm refusing. I don't want to move, but she doesn't. I don't want to move, but if she doesn't cover the missing, oh, if. Okay. I don't want to move, but if she doesn't cover the missing $1,000 or can't, we will have to. Edit. I've asked my wife if G has done something or said something to that caused her reaction to him, wanting to give as a gift, and she's in tears told me no, but can or won't give me a reason. This guy's writing style is horrible, by the way. It's definitely not AI. I don't think AI could make that many mistakes. To me, in my mind, George was looking down on us, as she said when he made the offer. Why? Why do you assume the worst of people? He wanted to do something nice for you. His own daughter is dead. He doesn't get to see her anymore. Why would you assume the worst? That's ridiculous. That 500 would have helped monumentally, and my wife knows that. She also knows getting a house like we currently have, as good as we have it in the house, is not a guarantee because we have read numerous stories on Reddit about other landlords, and she herself has always expected how lucky they have been. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't know what this guy's saying half the time. Edit 2. I worded it like crap in my post, sorry. Our lease is up for renewal, but our lease will basically be canceled and not renewed. We will basically have to reapply for the lease and the new amount will be market rate. He said for the fact that we have been good tenants so far, he will give us the first. Edit 3 because it keeps coming up. I actually forgot how far Reddit can go with these things. I know this sounds crappy of me, but I'm more sure that George hasn't slept with my wife than I am. My wife has never cheated on me. Myself including, I have never met a man more set on morals and principles. He still wears his wedding ring, even though his wife has been dead for more than 10 years. When I ask him about a woman or girlfriend in his life, he says no. His wife is waiting for him and he will not disappoint her. Honestly, if my husband was still single after 10 years after I died, I'd be disappointed in him because he needs a life and he can get remarried. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not here, so I don't care. That white boy guy says, look, I know pregnancy makes you do crazy stuff, but my God, do I hate OOP's wife. Sounds like a rude, entitled POS. Yes. Bag of Feet says, givers have to have limits because takers got none. Bonnie Bedlam says, different situation, but those words hit home. I have a cousin I used to be close with who had it hard. I gave her a car, a nice one, 7-year-old, low mileage minivan with great shape because she has kids. Loaned her $2,000 during COVID that she swore she'd pay back and then literally pretended never happened. After she killed the man, she was doing me a favor while my caregiver wasn't hospitalized, so I loaned her my truck overnight and gave her $20. This is when that was worth something, to put gas in it before she brought it back. She kept the money and returned with 1/8 of a tank. Some people just take until you got nothing left and then want you to go into debt for them. Yes, that's true. Reddit user says, I have a sister like this. I no longer speak to her. And that's what happens. To the second rated comment. Second rated comment is for Snarkum Revelio. This makes me so sad for George. He probably thought they had a relationship and was happy to see a new family in the home he hoped for his daughter would one day make a family. Imagine how healing that was for him, only to be blown to bits by OP's wife's entitled behavior. Throdio says, sad thing for the OP. I could see George selling them the house for a really good deal, if not outright giving it to them. The wife truly killed a good thing, even without selling or giving the house away. Yeah, for sure. I don't know what she was thinking. I have a feeling this one's going to be bad too. Yep. Even the ones that don't look like they're deleted are deleted. Oh no, that's the one we already read. Okay, we're fine. This is from Mildly Infuriating. Random guy demanded to see my military ID at Lowe's. It has a picture of a veteran-only parking spot. As I was getting out of my truck at Lowe's in one of their veteran parking spots, this random guy came up to me aggressively and demanded to see my military ID. I asked if he worked there, and he said no, he was just a concerned citizen. Well, go away, because this does not concern you, sir. I told him to go pound sand and walked into Lowe's. Keep in mind, I'm still in the military with a military haircut, a combat veteran license plate on my truck. I mean, is it that I look the part? Not matters the stereotypical military look. I bought what I needed, and when I came back, I see this a-hole arguing with the Lowe's employee while pointing to my truck. What the hell is wrong with people? Edit, just for clarification, since there are a lot of comments on this. I am active military reserves, but not active duty military. I have a DD 214 for my prior active service, though. I'm active military, but not active duty, and a veteran. Doesn't matter, sir. I have every right to park there. Doesn't matter. Extension Physical says you can be a vet and not have military ID. That's true. Okay, I don't know what that's all about. Wanted Man says I haven't had a military ID since I got out of the Marines almost 40 years ago. I do have a veteran ID card from the VA. and it's on my driver's license, but wang that guy. I hate concerned citizens. They're never concerned with crap that's really concerning. Okay, local says, yep, I parked in a handicapped spot with a large Ford van with tinted windows. I, a physically able person, got out to open the side door, and two people came up and started telling me to move. I opened the side door and helped out my three physically and mentally disabled clients. No apology. The hecklers just walked off. Of course not. Cybot says, of course I'm entitled to a veteran parking space. I've parked thousands of times. Bob says, you can only park there if you retired from parking. Oh, it's funny. Next, we have Am I Overreacting? And it's entitled AIO, My Boyfriend Can't Fix Things. When I step in to take care of it, he's such a baby about it that I'm ready to dump his ass tonight. We've been together for 2 years, living together for the last 4 months. Our fuel tank ran bone dry. We live in the deep north and rely on fuel for heat. I called in a favor and got our tank filled. So they're talking not a fuel tank on a car, they're talking about fuel oil in the house. My boyfriend put on his overalls, grabbed a multi-tool, and went up to the basement to light the furnace. He went up and down the stairs a few times for over an hour before sitting at the table to eat. I overheard him calling a friend asking him to come by with a wrench. I grabbed the socket with the 3/8 bit and quietly sneaked downstairs. I guessed on the eights because the cursor was over it, but I was right. It was a 3/8. Fuel's been out for a couple of hours at most. Long story short, I bled the line intermittently between the light ignitions until she ran clear. No error, no foam, no brainer. After 5 minutes, he comes downstairs and says his buddy's on the way with a wrench. I say, and says that I'm doing it wrong, bleeding it too much. Sorry for being extra careful not to flood the pump or the combust, my guy. I just keep doing what I'm doing, and after a few minutes, I close the valve, I press the button, and she fires up. He said, you didn't want to try it my way, and storms off. What a baby. It got lit, and you couldn't do it. Wiener. Don't know why I said that. It just came out. He's a wiener. Last week, my truck pan heater plug snapped. It literally just broke at the plug end from the sheer cold. Cold makes things brittle. He said he wanted to look after this for me since I've been so busy. 2 days later, he said it can't be fixed. I need to book with a mechanic. I woke up extra early on December 24th and snuck into the hardware store to grab a plug end. Finished the work in 20 minutes in -40-degree weather. When I shared with him what I did, I was so excited. I'm pretty handy, but that generally doesn't fall into electrical base work. He responded with much disdain. Oh God, I was going to do that, but I just didn't have wire snippers. I was happy to do that. I thanked him for trying anyways. P.S. Either I did, but I did have some pretty decent fisk snips. A torch to burn off the rubber casing. Dang. Sorry. A damper on Christmas morning. I told him the following day that as much as I appreciate his willingness, that I don't need him to do these acts of service. And it actually hurts me when he diminishes my skills and or doesn't even ask me for advice or tools when he's trying to accomplish something. What was that one guy said earlier about women being incompetent when it comes to electrical, carpentry, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, no. Like, what are you calling a friend for? Your girl, the apparent love of your life and best friend, just is just a spit away, and you're lucky, buddy. She's a pretty decent hand. In the last 4 months, there has been so many instances like this: the bathroom exhaust fan, the garage door opener, the lawnmower, the eaves troughs, the iron gate. There's more. I just can't remember them all. Every time it's the same. He tries to fix things of his own volition. Doesn't ask for help. We are way beyond soft gestures of recommendation. He just craps the bed and stomps around on it. Maybe he should start doing the housework. I mean, if that's your division of labor, that's fine. He can do the housework. He should do it competently, though. I've tried to work collectively with him too. It's a gong show. He's always making it so personal, and I'm taking it and take. He's always making it so personal and taking it so personal. It's not that deep. Information and resources are universal. I just don't get it. It's not cute. I actually started to become really resentful. Like, why can't he embrace a part of me that's half grease monkey handy woman? Because it makes him feel like less of a man because he's one of those alpha guys who um has to do everything himself, or he's not man enough. That's why. Not spending the rest of my life or rest of my lease, 8 months, pretending to be something I'm not, sneaking around hardware stores and walking around eggshells so I don't destroy his masculinity or whatever. I gotta let this one go. AIO. Edit, this post is blowing up to broadly answer the same question. Have you communicated your feelings with your boyfriend? To the best of my abilities, I have communicated my feelings. So much so that I'm experiencing communication fatigue. But here's the thing, communication can always improve. Why did you interrupt your boyfriend halfway through potentially fixing it? Because he wouldn't accept my help. And it was adamant that he knew. How? Because he was trying vice grips to loosen a brass nut, which was disfiguring the nut. Because I refused to wait for his friend to deliver a wrench to help him when we have wrenches, because it was a 40 degrees Celsius. Wait, is it Celsius or Fahrenheit? Because she got both as minus degrees. Do they equal at some point? I don't know. And dropped down from 68 Fahrenheit to 53 Fahrenheit at the time, in the time he put his overalls, to the time he was eating a sandwich an hour and a half later. Because the colder air that blows into the choke behind the pump, the harder it is to ignite the pilot light. Because of this problem turned into emergency. Why didn't you just call a mechanic and an HV guy? Because they don't need to. Because it's been minus 40 degrees Celsius for over a month now, and the mechanics and HV are booking 6 to 8 weeks out because they don't want to pay a surcharge of 200 plus 150 an hour for something I can do myself. I can't believe that somebody asked that. That's just asinine. Why wouldn't you call a mechanic? Because I don't need one. I can do it myself. Why are you sneaking around fixing crap and not openly fix crap like a regular human being? To avoid a fight? To avoid the discomfort I experienced in his tantrums? To avoid the part where they make they make the job they'll make sure the job gets done. To avoid uh, to avoid attempting collaborative teamwork where we have not been successful ever before. To have an opportunity to chill and enjoy the process without having to make room for him emotionally and physically. Also, because I'm sick and tired of being undervalued and underappreciated for my knowledge and skills. I don't even want to fight to be heard. I just want it to exist peacefully. Kay, good for you, go girl. Drag says, Drag says the problem is not that he doesn't know something, it's that he tries to pull you down lower than his level to feel good about himself. It never works. OP answers exactly. I don't care that he doesn't know. I don't even care that he doesn't want to know. But when he says it can't be fixed or something can only be fixed this way, and I have an idea that conflicts with his, it's instantly bad or wrong. Like he'd rather things remain broken than show support or gratitude for me fixing them. Chakakan says, all right, from the experience, just ditch him. This isn't even the problem. What will become a heartbreaking problem is that he's not going to magically grow overnight. So, in the same immature vein, he's going to devalue and discard you eventually. If you break up with him right now, he's going to come back begging, stop complaining, but still be resentful, comically comical scowl included. And a few months in the boom, the problem isn't that you were better than him. It's that it turns out you are ugly and not feminine enough, and he's never loved you, and he gets to dump you. Ask me how I know. My point is this childish nonsense seems nothing too bad. You just have to sneak around. So what? So The so what comes later. You will be shocked and heartbroken and angry at him, yourself, and the entire situation. Just put him out of his misery already. Go fix the things and be happy without the man child. the um the proper phrasing is put him out of your misery. Much difference answers. Also from experience, hard agree. I had to start hiding issues or waiting until he was sick or something to go fix things because the cycle went. One, boyfriend becomes aware problem. Two, boyfriend insists he know how to fix super easy, no worries. Three, literally months pass. If I mention the problem, he lashes out angrily because he's going to take care of it. 4A, I give up and arrange to fix the thing myself. Boyfriend notices and has a full meltdown. Apparently, his penis falls off entirely and his entire bloodline is now ashamed, blah, blah, dramatic BS, because he spent months putting off something that took me 10 minutes. 5, boyfriend eventually arranges to fix the thing, but he's mad and incompetent, so he breaks it even worse while pissing away tons of money. I wait until he was gone to actually fix the thing and to avoid another tantrum. It's not worth watching your car and home and such fall apart because some chump feels emasculated at the drop of a hat. Cut and run. Jenna quotes, his penis falls off entirely and his entire bloodline is shamed. It just says, I just spit my coffee across the room. That's a good line. That's a really good line. That's why we reread it for lines like that. The second top rated comment is from Normal Asparagus. Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is he's not willing to learn from you for yourself. And rather than have you explain it so he can understand, he takes it as a personal attack. That sucks and is a really pretty big display of emotional immaturity. I can understand him wanting to try and be a man and do the handiwork around the house. Yuck, but that's so many dudes mentally. And that's nothing if he isn't willing to learn or self-educate or communicate with you on where he's stuck and you can share knowledge and learn up together. On top of that, he wants to demean your achievements by sulking. It says sucking. I think they mean sulking. You're clearly an independent person, and I don't think you need someone trying to neuter that independence because they see it as a personal attack. Not overreacting. I'm sure their attitude would drive most people nuts. It'd drive me nuts. And I'm not even that handy. But once in a while, I come up with a good idea. The difference is when I do come up with a better idea, my husband actually goes with it and doesn't belittle me for it. Next, we have server life, and it's PSA, always check for a ring. Not necessarily. I don't wear mine. Last night at work, we had a reservation and listed engagement in the tags. I work at a pretty high-end fancy place, so it's not unusual. People come to celebrate birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, etc. We use the reservation tags to modify how we approach the table. For example, hello, welcome in, and happy anniversary. My coworker was assigned to the engagement table and went like this. Hello, welcome to restaurant. Congratulations on your engagement. Huh? Oh, I think you might have us confused with another table. Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been a mix up. I'll just get you started with a few glasses of water, tap or bottle of sparkling. She left the table to go get them the wet waters and watched the guy get up from the table and go to our GM. He looked pissed. It turns out, anyways, he was planning to propose at dinner, and my coworker ruined the surprise. Needless to say, he did not leave a tip, and it was a very awkward 2 hours. Moral of the story, always check for a ring. No, that guy should have communicated better. View decision. We have a selection online to select if you're booking for a celebration, and someone has selected that option and booked out an entire section of the restaurant, so we decorated the room with balloons, streamers, party hats, etc. It looked incredible. When all the guests arrived, dressed in black and looking absolutely mortified, turns out it was a wake. The person who booked it got incredibly angry with us, even when we explained that the booking said it was a celebration. We quickly got rid of the decorations, but it's still majorly awkward. Yeah, I have to communicate a little better than that. Disposable Savior says, maybe it's just the 2 wakes I've been to, but they really put the celebration of life. Music, dancing, drink, the works. True party for the departed. That's what my dad wants. He wants a party. I told him we were going to have a funeral and then we would have him a party. Okay, Dad? Because funeral's for us, not for you. Okay, Covercraft says, this one is on the guest. I completely agree. I got written up once because the server got cut and transferred a table to me and told me they were celebrating a birthday. Didn't say anything else about it. I went to the table to introduce myself and I said, I hear we're celebrating a birthday with so much excitement and enthusiasm. They complained to my manager that I ruined the woman's birthday surprise. Like, sorry, you're 35 years old. You're at dinner on or around your birthday. What a surprise. How is that a surprise? I was BS. I got written up for that. And my manager that did it was a massive biatch anyway, but I was still pissed. Yeah, who wants to do a proposal like that anyway? I don't know. Next, we have Best of Redditor updates entitled AITA for telling my girlfriend to go and ask to be adopted by the couple she's so obsessed with. This was originally an Am I the A-hole? And it was originally titled the same. February 7th, 2023. My girlfriend Katie made a new friend a few months ago, Mary. Katie talked about her a lot. Mary said this, did that, started teaching her something, etc. I thought it was a bit weird how much Katie looked up to Mary, but didn't think much of it until Mary's husband Joe entered the picture. From then on, Katie talked about their relationship all the time, how they do things, how they divide the chores, how respectful they are to each other, basically how they're just the best couple ever. Someone sounds jealous. I've met them and they are honestly nothing special, maybe a bit on the boring side even. This guy sounds jealous. Yesterday evening, Katie was once again going on about him, saying, and theirs is the healthiest relationship she has ever seen, blah, blah, blah. I really had a wanging long day at work, so I told her that I didn't want to hear about them. I don't care about her creepy crush on this random ass couple, but if she likes them so much, she should go and ask them to adopt her or ask if she can be their third. Katie then gave me the cold shoulder and left to go home to her apartment instead of sleeping at my place like she was supposed to. Supposed to? Planned is different than supposed. I need to know if I'm right and her obsession is creepy. If I'm not seeing something right or if I'm the a-hole here, I think you are. Verdict a-hole. Ray Winecube says, this is from the relevant comments. Ray Winecube says, YTA, my friend, she's trying to tell you what she wants out of your relationship without hurting you or making you feel defensive. Probably, yeah. Practical Entry says, well, you're not wrong. He is the TA. She needs to open her mouth and actually say what she wants. All of this hinting and subliminal messaging is not the way. And all it is doing is creating discord. How do you know she hasn't? He isn't picking up on hints. All he sees is her constant fawning over two people, and he doesn't get it even after meeting them. If she wants her boyfriend to change, she needs to lay it out for him. What she is doing, looking for a relationship. Mrs. Cat's Meow says, to be fair to Katie, a bunch of internet strangers read secondhand account of what she said, and we got it. Alarming reply says, YTA, bet Joe would never tell Mary to shut up. Do you often feel threatened from hearing that other people have their crap together? Katie was talking about her friends. It's pretty normal conversation. You're taking it personally. Why? Do you think Katie is trying to tell you something? Preference Hungry says, YTA. She's trying to tell you what she wants in y'all's relationship, and you're just showing her that you don't give a crap. OOP updated same day, same post. Update. She finally texted me back. She wrote a long ass message saying that she had tried everything with me and she thought that if she was patient and clear about her needs, I would eventually change for her. But she realized, thanks to Mary and Joe, that's not her job to raise a man to get her boyfriend to respect her. She wrote a lot of other things about Mary too, like Mary is truly proud of her husband and looks up to him. Meanwhile, she can't find it in herself to look up to me in anything and so on. So yeah, I hope you're all happy you got what you wanted. Hope you're happy because you got what you wanted. Nightshade Realm says, my dude still couldn't take responsibility for his behavior, just lashed out. Thanks, Reddit. You got what you wanted. Princess Gotten says, didn't learn a single thing. Little Squirrel says if he ever gets married, he'll soon find himself saying the divorce came out of nowhere. The breakup came out of nowhere, didn't it? Almost Infinity is the next top rated comment. And it says, so yeah, I hope you all are happy you got what you wanted. It's always the same for types of people who sign off their posts like this. They'll never admit they were the one in the wrong and always believe the world is out to get them. Throwaway Lord of says, I remember warning someone about to head out for the day that it was possibly going to rain, so I should probably plan around that. Got no way it was going to rain. It rained, and he wasn't in any way prepared and got soaked. When I saw him next after, he said it was some venom. Well, I hope you're happy or some crap like that. Like MFR, don't really give a crap either way, but you don't want any kind of basic advice, then so be it. Same energy as this guy. Yeah, for sure. All righty. This has made me smile. Let me do it this way. It's easier. I mean, it's hard for me, but it's easier for you guys. It's just a woman, I assume, post-surgery. Says my mom made it through open heart surgery yesterday. Tear and heart that's been wrapped in bandages emoji. She's been through a lot in this life and it was not her time to go. I still can't believe she's already sitting up and ordering food like this. Get your hearts checked, guys. Hug your people. Thank you for your doctors and nurses. I had a friend who was already, like, how old are you? 38, 45, I can't remember. Somewhere around in that age. It was really young. She had to have open heart surgery already. Her mom had passed away from heart condition that she also had. She's still around, thankfully. Her mom didn't live this long, so. Cynical Sanguist says, that's amazing. OP, hug her tight when medically cleared, of course, and cherish the time you've been given. Yeah. Cherish your extra time because 100 years ago, you would probably not have it. All right, that's all I have for today. I will be back tomorrow. I have nothing else left, I say. I'm tired. All right, biddies. I forget which one is my right hand. Sorry. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I love you all. Take care. Bye. Bye.